My name is Amanda Freund. Welcome to our corner of Connecticut, alongside the Blackberry River, the place our family has called home for over 7 decades. I'm really excited to bring you into my family's farmhouse kitchen, and we're going to talk to my mom, Theresa, about her favorite thing, feeding her family and neighbors with food that's produced right here on this farm.
It's pretty interesting because we have a farm market, and so we spend a lot of time talking about what's in season. So to me, sustainable eating and nutrition is eating what's in season. I mean, the strawberries are at the peak of just perfect. And so it's a period of about 4 to 5 weeks, and we'll eat strawberries like every other day. When we get into the fall, like we're doing beets and roasted beets and potatoes. Right now it's sugar snap peas, lettuce, radishes, and so those are the kinds of things that we're eating right now. Look at that. That is a big egg. Those are from our chickens. I bet you it's a double yolker.
So does that mean you only have to use 2?
When I was asked to make something that was seasonal and sustainable, the first thing that came to mind, because it's June, is to make a biscuit, a buttermilk biscuit, shortcake biscuit, to go with our strawberries. So I happened to find a recipe that used sour cream, butter, and milk. So I'm going to put all those together, and then we'll have strawberry shortcake. So there's our flour, sugar, and nutmeg. So I put that all together, and then we're going to the butter is going into the flour. When I was growing up, this is how we cut butter into flour. So this is actually a pastry blender that I took to college. Not everybody goes to college with a pastry blender.
Nobody.
And there's a little bit of sugar, a little bit of nutmeg, baking powder, baking soda. And yeah, you're supposed to measure, but I don't measure much. Okay. And the problem is I don't know if I have too much, so I'm gonna mix this first. See, in having the homegrown eggs, they're really yellow. All right, so so this is a little bit wet, but I'm going to dry it up with more flour. And so we're going to knead it so that we end up with flour layers. And so out in the commercial kitchen, I literally have pastry cutters. See how beautiful that is? And the thing is that you don't want it to be too thin, because you don't, it's got to have some lift to it. So this is, look at that.
Do you want me to be part, like...
Let's say your recipe calls for buttermilk and you only have sour cream. You just take sour cream and you can add milk to your sour cream to make that consistency of buttermilk. I would say that everything is interchangeable when it comes to sour milk, buttermilk, milk. When I'm baking, I'm not a big fan of using low-fat milks because that's where the flavor's at. So I figure that if you're going to cut out your calories, find it in the sugar that you're consuming. When you think about dairy, dairy is never out of season, because it's like we're producing milk 365 days a year. So then what we do is we complement the milk and the dairy and the things that we're growing with what we're growing.